What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to SHOPcast, episode 92. Oh, man, today we are going to be talking about Danny Boyle's sci-fi movie from 2007, Rainbow Bright. I couldn't do it out loud.
Couldn't keep a straight face.
No, dude, as soon as I said it, I was looking at Josh and his like deadpan face. I was like, I can't do it. Anyways, it's called Sunshine. You know, it's on the screen here. But yeah, it's we were supposed to do this last week, but man, I'm still not 100%. I was sick as a dog last week, so I don't know what the hell is going on. But whatever, man. It's all good in the hood. I'm way better than I was a week ago, and I'm better than I was yesterday. So I'm just happy to see some progress in the right direction, man. Hopefully this won't freeze. We're working on getting some things fixed on my computer. I will say this, man, the picture quality's improved, the audio quality's improved. There is less lagging, not gone completely. So I don't know, man. So if you still have time to come over tomorrow, Chris, I'll stay home until you're able to come by. So
Cool. Yeah, I'll plan on it.
Checking my volume and it was way too loud. All right. So cool. Anybody that's hanging out with us, man, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up, comment on the chat. We'll talk with you. But yeah, let's just get talking about this movie. I don't suspect this will be a super long conversation about the movie. At least I mean, maybe it will. Who knows, man? Because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be at all. I don't really know what I thought. I thought it was going to be a little darker than it was, I guess. But it was still fairly dark as far as like the concept and the like actual situation, not necessarily physically, but. Mm-hmm. The cast in this movie, boy, oh my goodness, it had a good cast. Man,
hell of a cast.
Everybody in this was like a banger, dude. Like the least cool guy in here was the dude with the speech impediment, and even I know that guy from some stuff.
Yeah,
like I can't remember his name, but I know him from a few things. But had like a super young Rose Byrne, woo, buddy.
Yeah, like 3 people that ended up in Marvel stuff. I mean, of course, Chris Evans, but
with that wonderful wig.
God damn it, what's his name? Benedict Wong.
Yeah, the Asian cat from Doctor Strange.
Yeah, looking super young and skinnier.
Yeah,
and,
very.
Hey, what's up, Julie? And what's up, JJ? How are y'all? Yeah, who else was in Marvel stuff? That
Hiroyuki Sanada was even in Endgame, I think.
Was he in Endgame? I don't know.
Yeah, wasn't he?
Too many people in all those movies for me to keep up, you know?
Yeah, I think he was who Hawkeye was fighting. Like when it did the jump forward in Endgame, and he was Ronin. I think he was
that's awesome.
Like the
maybe.
Let's go.
Yeah, it was a cool scene.
Okay. I'm so excited about the movie I'm picking tonight.
Oh boy. I'm not excited.
I'll give you 2 hints. 1, it's got Tom Hanks in it, and 2, I haven't seen it. So I don't know if this is any good or not. I have no idea. I'm just trusting that Tom Hanks is awesome.
We'll see.
Oh shit! Okay.
Everyone's got a stinker.
Yeah. So basically, this movie, Chris, was this your pick?
Yeah.
Okay, so this movie is basically it's a sci-fi flick. It's 15 years old now. I will say this: I thought most of it held up pretty good for it being so old.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Well, like not only that, but like the acting held up. And after the wig was gone, all the features, the hairs and the clothing and everything held up pretty well. A lot of times you get this stuff and it's just flat out dated, man. Even like in a decade, you're like, oh, they wore that. But this one, they did a good job of making it real neutral, real just, I want to say military-esque kind of. So it just looked like stuff that's going to be the same kind of shit for the next 50 years. I don't know. Wise decision in my opinion. But it made the movie hold up and look. Because if you told me, hey, this came out in 2018, 2019, I might have still believed that, or 2012, something like that, because it didn't look crazy. It didn't look crappy. It was done very well. But it's about a group of people on a ship. I can't remember how far in the future, man. I tried to watch it a second time, but I was exhausted and I passed out.
21 something?
It is like 100 years in the future, though, right? Okay.
At least. Maybe more.
They're out in deep space, and I don't remember what their...
The sun is dying, basically.
That's what I was going to say. Is that I don't remember exactly what they were all doing, but their mission at this point was to go relight the sun. Essentially, they had basically was it a nuke or something?
Just a big ass bomb, yeah.
Yeah, big ass bomb to go reignite the sun, and in typical sci-fi thriller movie sequences, we start to see things kind of fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
And there's things there's a couple of little twists thrown in the mix, but like, I don't know, Chris, you picked the movie out. What was it? What was the reason that you picked this movie out? Had you already seen it, and it was something you just wanted us to watch, or was it something you wanted to discover for yourself?
No, I'd seen it. I don't think I saw it in theaters, but I saw it like right after it came out.
Nice.
And I mean, Alex Garland has gone on to make, I mean, at least one, if not two, of my favorite like sci-fi movies, and Ex Machina and Annihilation.
Was he the writer in this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he wrote it and directed by Danny Boyle, who did 28 Days Later and Black Swan, right? And
no.
That's Aronofsky.
Okay.
Yeah, he did. Danny Boyle did
Trainspotting,
and
127 Hours. I mean, so many.
I was just gonna brag about. I remembered that it was written by Alex Garland, and my brain was like, "Yeah, but then you're gonna forget all this other shit." I was like, "Oh, those superfoods are helping." JK.
But you had mentioned that you had never seen it.
This is the first time watching it.
It's been so long since I watched it. I was like, perfect time.
Well, I think it came up on a podcast a few weeks ago because we were talking about the new Men, the new Alex Garland movie.
Yeah.
And we were talking about his past stuff, and me and Chris had both seen this before and really liked it. So.
Yeah. So I didn't watch. I like breezed past a couple of people that I know that do like horror movie things, and Men came up, and they were just like ranting and raving about how great it was. And I was like, really? Well, these aren't people that I trust necessarily. It's just people that I'm aware of. Well, like that's an important distinction, because I watch a lot of people that I don't necessarily care about their opinion, but I want to support their channel and what they're doing. They're working hard, and but like, whereas like Drum Dums, I don't care about his opinion, but I support his channel because the dude's been in there doing this shit for years, man. I have another guy. Oh, what is his name? Country ass dude with a beard. I like that guy. He's got a good style. I'll figure out his name in a minute. But so I haven't seen Men yet. So when they said how good it was, I was like, so did you watch the movie? And one of them said something to me that I thought was kind of weird. They said, "What if I hadn't?" And I was like, I just think it's really strange that you're saying it's this good.
You hadn't seen it?
That was an odd response. Like, I dude completely caught me off guard. I was like,
really?
I was like, I don't know. Yes, Cody Leach. Thank you. Yeah, Cody Leach is the guy that I really like. I like him a lot, man. And it's not perfect. Neither am I. Nobody is. But like what he does, you can see he gives a shit about his content, man. And it's not all horror. It's like horror and metal stuff. He's cool, dude. Cool guy. But, I say redneck because he's got a southern accent, so it's easy to distinguish him from other people. But he's a cool guy. Anyways, it was funny because I was just like completely shocked. And who knows, man? It could have been somebody else messing with their account. Somebody could have typed a comment. Maybe I read it wrong or something, but it sure sounded like maybe they hadn't watched it. But I was like, well, it's so weird. I guess I wouldn't put it past the studio needing to bring some money in, throw in a couple bucks at some reviewers and be like, yo, give us some positive feedback. I mean, no matter what stuff you do, there's going to be people that will say and do things just for money. If it was enough money, I would say any movie was good. I would get on here and talk about how great Men was. For $10,000, bro, I'll say anything is good. You know what I'm saying? So
how much you loved Aquaman?
Loved it. Fucking greatest movie of all time. Amber Heard should have got awards for that shit. That poor woman's in. Let's talk about Sunshine.
Yeah.
Anyways, this movie was cool, man. Okay, for anybody that's not aware, look at this photo in the corner here of Chris Evans. The reason I put that there is because it's just so silly looking, because his fucking hair for like the first 10 or 15 minutes of the movie, he has this wig on.
And the beard. The beard looked weird too.
This isn't even like a really good photo of it. I couldn't find a good enough picture that showed you what it really looked like.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't look that bad in that photo, but
boy, does
it looks
look bad.
Real bad.
Yeah, and his, just, while he's doing his thing in the movie. But I don't know what was the reason he cut his hair all of a sudden. Because all of a sudden he came back, his hair was shaved, beard was gone.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they started shooting and they were like, we need to lose this.
Maybe.
They're like, all right, Captain America, quit looking like a douchebag.
I don't know. I started watching the movie. I was like, ooh, I don't remember that. I was like, I thought he was, buzz cut in this movie, and I was like, oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Chris and I were watching it, and he came on the screen. We both went, whoa, like out loud. I was like, what is going on? Oh my God. I was like, is that Chris Evans? It took me a minute, man. Yeah, because he's a handsome dude. Like he's like a classically good looking fella. So I was like, boy, howdy, you didn't care how you looked in this one, I guess. And then he came back with his gun, and I was like, oh, thank goodness, because Cillian Murphy, who's also like the main guy in the movie, he's always got like long flowy hair, so I wasn't at all surprised to see his hair like that. But yeah, dude, this movie had a crazy cast. The story was pretty good because I think that they had each individual character had their own like story going on, and if you really wanted to, you could just kind of like ixnay all the other folks and just watch this other character's story, because they wove them in so well that at no point were you forgetting about somebody, because every few minutes you got to see this person on screen and hear them talk and see what they were going through and dealing with. And there was a lot of stressful scenes in the movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I don't know if I enjoyed it enough to like get a hard copy of it yet, but I did buy it on Amazon, and I'm glad I did.
Cool. Yeah, I figured there was enough. That I won't say straight up horror, but it leans into thriller / horror enough.
Tension building stuff is always good for me.
Yeah, I thought you would dig it at least.
Yeah, I think it's one that like the more I watch it, the more I learn about stuff that's going on in it, the more I talk about this movie with people and just learn little things about it, because just like I did with Sex and Fury, man, like the first time I watched that, I didn't dig it at all, but I rewatched it with a whole different perspective, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. So coming at it one that I already did enjoy, and learning about it and talking about it and finding out little because it's weird, because if you find out information that has nothing to do with the actual story in the movie, it's just like a production thing you heard, or like you'll start to appreciate movies more just based on like the shit they had to go through to make the movie. And so that's what I think this one is the more I learn about it, the more I learn about Danny Boyle, the more he makes another banger, I might be like, yo, man, yeah. And then this one's on my list now because I really like what he's doing as a whole. And you know, there's a lot of reasons to rewatch movies like this.
Yeah. I mean, different mindset, change it completely. Yeah, I wanted to bring up Sex and Fury because I watched it earlier. We can save it for later.
You'll talk about it in a few minutes, man. I definitely got plenty to talk about that movie.
Okay.
Fucking throwing farts at you, bro.
But yeah. Sunshine was as good as I remembered it. I mean, it took a little longer than I remembered to like kind of get to the twist. I guess
it was kind of long in my opinion. That's my only real gripe. But I mean, you know me, and my forte is like 80 to 90 minute movies. So anything more than like 100 minutes, and I'm like, yo, hurry up.
What was it, like an hour 45, hour 50, something like that?
Yeah, it wasn't super long. It was 107.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was longer than that.
It wasn't crazy long, but
I'm not gonna say an asshole, but it felt a little bit longer than that to me.
I mean, knowing Alex Garland now, I mean, he does take a little while to set up his movies. They're pretty much all slow burns.
Yeah. I actually wanted probably like 10 more minutes, because I felt I felt like the ending when it finally gets to the horror stuff, it felt like they were rushing a little bit. Like there was a lot of stuff that just happened really quickly, and it felt like it just kind of sped through it.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, it took a little too much time.
Like either they need to like get to it a little bit earlier, or give it a little bit more. It just felt like, okay. I've totally forgotten Mark Strong was in this movie too.
Yeah,
like he's
which one's Mark Strong?
Like he's the villain at the end. Like
okay.
You don't really see him full view because he has this like radiation thing going on where he's like the camera is distorted and everything whenever he's on screen. But if you look at
his voice made me look up who he was, because I didn't recognize him. Definitely, he had so much, I guess, prosthetic or whatever on.
Well, you see him in like, maybe I can't remember if it was like the picture of the other crew or like or the video or something. You see him.
Yeah, it was just like on a screen on the ship, right? So it wasn't even really a full shot.
But I think I realized it then, but I was like, oh shit, I totally forgot he was in this movie.
Yeah.
Because he's he's not like a huge actor, but he's a pretty like recognizable character actor now.
Yeah.
Like all these actors were like.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Is that we got a bunch of actors in this movie that have gotten a lot larger. Sorry.
Yeah, all these people were like pretty much nobodies at the time. Like.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no way this gets made today with all these people.
Hell,
oh my gosh, the budget for this would be like
Chris
10
Evans
times
taken
more.
The whole budget.
Yeah, I mean the budget on it was $40 million. Like I'm pretty sure Chris Evans makes more than that.
Dude, that's
himself.
Wild.
Yeah.
That's wild with the practical or the effects in this movie and how well they hold up.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
there's so much of the like that whole sequence when they're trying to repair the shield and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's held up surprisingly well.
Yeah, the space shots were very dark.
Yeah,
but I mean, it was all very elaborate sets and everything. Yeah, as I say, I was surprised at how well it held up too. It really felt like it could have been made a few years ago.
Yeah, it really did. All the design stuff just felt so cool. I've forgotten about a lot of it. Just like the fact that they have this giant shield so that they can get close enough to the sun.
Yeah,
and all these like this constantly moving, reflecting. It's like it's made out of scales and all the scales.
It was weird, dude. I kind of liked it. That was the one part of the movie that I had a lot of trouble with because I didn't really understand that. I'm not a sci-fi guy. I've definitely become more interested in this in the genre over the past like 2.5 years talking with Chris so much, but I still don't understand a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of little things they were talking about in that. And even like the whole concept of that, I didn't really understand it. Like I was just like, all right, cool, I'll take your word for it. Like
when you're getting that close to the sun, obviously it's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah. I understood that part of it, but there was like little things about it and like how it worked and just like reasons. Like I didn't understand why it was such a. I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
A lot of it's set up in dialogue.
Something that I completely understood all the way through.
That's it. It's all set up in dialogue. So if you miss a line or two, you might completely miss what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean the whole thing. I mean
that is very true, by the way.
I mean the whole thing is them finding the old ship, and that's when everything. If they had pretty much stayed on course like Chris Evans said, then they probably would have been fine and all survived.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute because what's the catalyst to all the drama in the movie is that they decide to go off course because there was like a fire on the ship. It burned up a bunch of their oxygen, like their oxygen source, which was plants. And I mean, obviously, right? Which some people wouldn't think about that, but
that's a cool concept too. The fact that they have a giant like habitat to create oxygen.
That's like renewable oxygen all the time.
Yeah,
and
I thought that was
you can have that.
So cool.
It reminded me of that Matt Damon flick. What was it?
Martian?
Oh, Martian, yeah.
Yeah. Not really, but like kind of like because I thought, oh man, if Matt Damon was on here, it'd be all right. Like,
yeah.
But
it's just like believable sci-fi elements.
That's really what it is that it's more believable. You're like, oh, there's something I'm familiar with.
Right.
And so they have this problem with their oxygen source getting messed up, and they see that there was so this is the Icarus 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there was the Icarus 1 that had failed to get the bomb to the sun to reignite it or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so they find out that I think they were hearing a transmission. Turned out to be the people that were on Icarus 1, and they were like, "Yo, are there people on there still?" And so they have to sit down and talk as like a, board and figure out who's going to say we can do what and vote this in, and they have this long drawn out conversation. And ultimately, they decide to go and try to find Icarus 1 because not only does it help them with hopefully finding either a person or maybe some oxygen or whatever, but it gives them a second bomb, which is a second try, and that gives them double the success rate or percentage or whatever. And I'm probably botching all this, but
no, because all this is theoretical anyway. They don't even know if it's going to work. It's just
correct. So they're all just kind of wishing in one hand, shitting in the other, and like, I don't know, but let's try it. And then they and then that's really when everything kind of gets crazy is when they go find this other ship.
Yeah.
Wong's character makes a mistake and forget exactly the details in it, but it forces...
to burn up all the stuff?
Oh yeah,
to create the fire. He made a mistake. It creates the fire.
He doesn't realign the shield.
Right.
So when they change the trajectory, the tail of the ship gets hit by the sun.
So they have to go out and fix the panels for the shield.
Mm-hmm.
and then just from there, like
that's whenever
that creates shit happening, and then from there more shit happens.
Yeah, Captain is he perishes on that journey.
Mm-hmm.
They get stuck outside, and it's him and what kind of dickhead was Chris Evans in this movie though? He was a very unlikable person in this whole movie.
Yeah. He is.
He's like I volunteer him. You're like, whoa, what a dick.
Oh yeah. He's a dick, but also he's like the one that's like also focused, like willing to give himself up for this, where everyone else is a little more.
I mean, it's a tough conversation and everything all together. So it's
no, he's not likable at all. But he is the one that's like, I'm the one that's willing to make the hard decision.
Yeah, he's a realist. So
yeah,
I mean, he knows who is right for what task, and as much as it sucks to put that on other people, he's kind of right.
Yeah. I love the I don't remember the actor's name, but I've seen him in tons of stuff. But the one guy that like sits in the observation room, always staring at the sun.
Middle Eastern looking fella.
Yeah,
I think he's Middle Eastern or Latino. I can't tell. He plays both roles very well. He plays in a lot of like espionage movies.
His name is Cliff Curtis.
I know, right? Not at all what I thought his name was when I first saw him.
Right. But he's awesome, in a ton of stuff. He's a great actor.
Good. He's so good. I'm glad you brought him up.
And I just love his whole thing because he's like the psychologist on the ship or something. And he's the one that's getting like wrapped up in the whole thing. It's like
he's the one that would take the drugs if they were available.
Right.
He's like, did you say mushrooms?
And you notice like slowly throughout the movie, like he's spending so much time in there, his like skin is peeling and stuff. Dude.
He looks nasty.
It's like, they don't even show it. They only show him in there a couple of times, but like every other scene, his skin looks a little bit worse. It's like, it's pretty gross. And but it's also setting up, the end of the movie. Because it's basically the same thing that's happening to him is what's happened to Mark Strong, who becomes
that's what it's
the crazy
like
guy. Yeah, it's definitely their way of like explaining how someone could get to that point.
Yeah.
While we're talking, I'm trying something real quick. So let's just keep this. Don't ignore me. I'm listening to you. But
okay.
This purple background is driving me absolutely fucking bonkers. I have to change it to something else. But there's nothing else on here I can put.
I thought we were going with the Pride Month thing.
Well, I was gonna put like a really light yellow and see what it looked like because we're all really dark squares and it might contrast really nice and it might make the pictures pop a little bit better. I keep looking at it ever since it didn't bother me until y'all mentioned it, and I was like.
You need to get like the Teletubbies like baby son or something. Put that in the background.
That'd be amazing.
It would be. Trying to think.
Another person we didn't really bring up. She doesn't have that big of a role as Michelle Yeoh.
Oh yeah, she's great in it though.
I mean, it's probably been in most stuff up until that point. I mean, that's a lot of Chinese and.
Yeah.
Other Asian stuff that I've never seen, but I mean, being in everything, everywhere, all at once.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. If that's the same lady, I thought it was.
Yes.
Yeah, she's made a big comeback.
I mean, she was definitely recognizable by this point because this is after Crouching Tiger.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask because she's the lady from Crouching Tiger. Yeah. Man, I used to think that first off, I used to think she was very pretty, but that girl in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. For like a decade, I had like this huge crush on her. I would watch anything she was in. I think she was also in like Rush Hour 3 or some shit. The young girl that was like real pretty.
Probably.
Can't remember her name.
She is beautiful, man. And back then, I used to watch a lot of kung fu stuff. So like, I don't know if this is looked down upon these days still, but I had like this thing for like Asian girls. I think it's just because I watched a bunch of Asian movies, man. That's what I watched. That's what I liked.
I still have a thing for Asian girls.
Well, no, dude, apparently that's not okay anymore. Like that's looked down at, bro. Like I'm not kidding. I see these things. I watch these videos and read articles, and I'm like, wait, you can't have an opinion anymore. Like you can't be like, I like this girl because of these facial features, because it happens to be that they're like an Asian thing. You're gonna make it a fetish. Like I can't just be like, yeah, I like her because she's looks like that. Like, wow.
It can be a fetish. I don't care.
No, I know. It's so strange. You know, we come in this weird space where people have these problems with shit they didn't have problems with 10 years ago or didn't even need to have a problem with to begin with. It's fucking silly.
Yeah, whoever wants to whine about it can. I don't really give a fuck.
Wah. But
that Zhang Ziyi is the one from Crouching Tiger.
Okay, that sounds familiar, actually.
Yeah, might have said that wrong, but that's as close as I'm going to get, probably.
Now I'm offended.
But yeah, there you go. Telling. Chris over here offending people and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen much of anything she's been in the last few years. The Godzilla movie from 2019.
Okay.
Cloverfield Paradox. I didn't watch that.
I didn't either.
I liked Cloverfield Paradox. Okay, it wasn't great, but it was all right. I'm almost done with this thing. You know, that guy on eBay is so mad right now. I hope somehow he's watching this video.
He's a huge Sunshine fan.
That'd be amazing. How
huge
great would that
Boyle
be?
fan.
I mean, what he bought from me was a Blu-ray. You never know. Anyways, he's like negative feedback left. If I don't get my money in 2 hours, I'm opening a case. And I was like, well, have fun doing all that. I'm not going to get mad by an entitled baby on eBay, though. I was like, yeah, I don't give a shit, man. Like, I hope you get hemorrhoids from this, sir. Like, you know what? I do hope that happens. How glorious would that be?
Oh, my God.
People are dumb, and they're everywhere. But not you guys watching this video. Everybody but you. Yeah. I love that. My viewers are like, I hate this guy. Oh, man. So, yeah. I don't know what I would grade the movie on a scale. I kind of have gotten away from that a little bit.
Yeah.
Thinking about it that way. But I'd say I'd probably put it up in like the 3/4 range, 7.5-ish, somewhere in that neighborhood. Like, like with room to grow. I think it's just not really my favorite kind of movie, but I think I want to own it anyways. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it quite a bit, man. I really did. I think this has got its rightful place on my shelf with some other things that I have that I don't necessarily watch all the time,
Yeah.
And I
mean, it's definitely got cool. Like some Alien vibes in it, some 2001 vibes.
I was thinking Prometheus on a couple of things, man.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, before Prometheus, but it's definitely got that Ridley
That's what Scott. I'm saying like Prometheus had some stuff that I felt was like directly taken from this movie.
Sure.
It's kind of what I meant.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely taken from the big sci-fi movies before it, but yeah, it's cool. And Daniel Boyle, hasn't really made anything else like this since. He kind of jumps around. Like he's a very
I was going to say he doesn't have like a box that he's really in.
He really doesn't. Like he's a very eclectic filmmaker. Like
I'm nervous about this background, guys. Purple rain.
I mean, to go from
wow. Look, this was on there. I didn't even know. That's way brighter than I wanted it to be, though. The one I got's much more tame than that. Here, I'll show you.
The last Danny Boyle movie we watched was Shallow Grave. We did that for the show.
Yeah.
That was his first movie. Hugh McGregor. The guy dies in their apartment, and he has a suitcase full of money.
Oh yeah.
That was good.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah,
like barely at all.
I really liked that movie. I need to get the Criterion because I really.
Oh, it's on Criterion. Dude, Criterion has been slowly creeping up my list of stuff that I really enjoy.
They've got some genre stuff, some weird stuff in their catalog too. It's not all just arty stuff.
There we go. This is much more tame. I like this. Okay.
Yeah, I've been finding they actually have a couple of like pinky violence classified.
Oh yeah.
What? I don't even understand what the fuck that is, dude. Pinky violence. It just sounds so dumb.
It's basically just Japanese exploitation.
Pretty much.
Essentially.
Oh, like usually like female led, but it doesn't have to be. But yes, it's basically Japanese sexploitation movies.
Yeah.
That are usually violent and a lot of nudity.
Nice.
That's it.
Well, I think I'm about done talking about sunshine. Rainbow bright, sunlight.
I can't think of anything else major.
If anybody, oh man, I meant to tell everybody. Sorry about clapping in the mic like that. I meant to tell everybody what the movie was for next week at the beginning of the show, so y'all will know, because a lot of folks ain't gonna last a whole hour on this. At least not live, you know. I was
we were building up to it, but
no, we were, but I forgot I shouldn't do that. It's called. I gotta look up the name of it because I can't even tell you what the name of it is. It's called Mazes and Monsters. In celebration of Stranger Things and D&D and the Satanic Panic of the 80s, this is a movie that was directly it wouldn't exist without the Satanic Panic of the 80s. And it's when I was watching a list of stuff that was if you like Stranger Things and D&D, you should check this stuff out. This was the one thing on that list that I had never even heard of, and I was like, it's got Tom Hanks in it.
Yeah, I've never heard of this.
It's on Tubi. It's probably horrible, but
I mean, that's a really young Tom Hanks, too.
I know, dude. He was like 14 in this movie.
It's got a lot of bad reviews on Letterboxd.
Really? That's the way it should be.
But a few good ones. So who knows?
I don't care about people's reviews. You know that.
Yeah,
It doesn't bother me any. I mean, I wouldn't mind reading some of them, but they don't bother me.
Yeah, I've never heard of this.
Black Phone. Yes, I'm going to be watching Black Phone as soon as I can, and I've been hearing some really good things about Black Phone as well. Pink is weird porn plus violence, from what I understand.
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
yeah. Basically,
is that Hugh?
Yeah,
Trenchfoot?
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
What up, dude? How are you, sir? Oh man, yo, this dude just sent me like 3 messages on eBay, and I just keep putting in like 2-word responses to his like paragraph stuff. You know how people get really mad when they think you're not reading it? I just like breezed through it, and I just said something that was like directly contradicting something I said before, and I intentionally, like, I just.
You should refund him like $1 at a time.
Dude, I wonder if they'll let me do that. I will absolutely do that.
You probably can't, but
no. What if I refund him like a nickel short? Just enough for him to notice it and be like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
Or like 14 cents, something really 31 cents.
Yeah.
31 cents short. That's the tax for being a douchebag.
Yeah.
There you go.
And they'd be like, well, what's your PayPal? I can send it to you. God, people are so dumb. Oh, man, he's so mad. Golly, dude, this guy is so single. He's beating off right now with like a fucking giant can of Jergens next to him and some like big girl porn on the TV. Well, you know, everybody needs love, so. But, yeah, so Mazes and Monsters for next week's movie. Let's talk about Sex and Fury for a minute. Hugh's in the chat. He'll probably talk about it for a minute. What's your opinion on Sex and Fury, Mr. Chris? You're the one that wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, like I was interested in watching it. It was already on my list from kind of getting into these things, and Hugh kind of kicked it off. Because a lot of them are, you know, old Japanese movies, which are kind of my shit anyway. So
yeah, you're more into like samurai stuff, though.
Like, yeah, and the first one I watched,
like well shot, like this is definitely on the other end of the spectrum as far as I would be able to say.
Yes, but I mean, I've gotten a couple of things like from Arrow recently that, you know, could fall into this category too.
For sure.
So it wasn't the first, you know, Pinky movie I've watched.
We're not going to use that term.
Okay.
Pinky, whatever. It's stupid.
How about Pinku? I think they call it that in Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was wondering where Pinky came from. Pinku? That sounds more like it would. Okay, that makes more sense. Never mind. Yeah. Go back to what you're doing.
But anyway, the first one I watched.
as if he needs your permission.
What, you don't?
Well, I guess you can kick him out if you want. But
that would be so fucked up. How dumb would that be if I was like, what? Now, man. I'd be like that guy on fucking eBay right now.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Anyways.
But the first movie I watched like this week was a samurai. It was a samurai Pinku movie, and it was really good. Like I enjoyed it a lot. It was.
What was it called?
Bushashi Bushido, something like that.
Sounds like a snack food.
Yeah, I mean it was one he would reviewed and talked about, and
okay.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. That one was good. And then I watched another one. So like I said, Sex and Fury was on my list of things to watch, and I didn't like it very much. It was definitely a worse movie than the other two I've watched. I didn't hate it.
So what did you not like about it?
So I mean,
after I watched it again, I really do like it a lot.
Yeah,
which is funny because I really didn't at first.
Like I knew what I was getting into with it, because I mean I knew it was gonna be a little bit cheesier, and
it was from 1973. That's what changed my mind on it mostly. Not mostly, but it had a fair amount of sway with me. Is that it's so damn old. It's 50 years old, man. So a certain amount of cheese is going to come along with it.
I mean, the other two I watched were from the same year and from like 3 years previous or something like that. But I think like right there in the 70s, they got this little era of like ultra cheesy, like super over the top.
Bohachi Bushido.
Yes, that one. That one's really good. Like it's a better film than Sex and Fury.
Bro, that doesn't even register on my things to care about.
Like Sex and Fury has some awesome moments, like the guy farting in his hand.
Well, the three things that I brought up in my review make that movie worth watching to me.
Yeah, I mean one of the first fights when she just gets out of the tub naked and whips like 20 dudes' asses.
But the choreography was terrible. Like it was not a good fight. She was just naked. That's why you liked it.
Yeah, no, I mean it's like she cuts her arm off, and it's not like super over the top bloody.
You know, that arm was like one of them ones you buy at like
a super
Spirit Halloween store.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a lower budget movie for sure.
This was like a grindhouse flick, man. It was definitely an exploitation to the max.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't know about this other one, Bohachi Bushido. I'll check that one out too, though.
Yeah.
It sounds like that one's just like you said, a better film. Like that's probably just a better made movie.
Yeah, it was.
Sometimes it's qualified, but
yeah, it was just a little bit better made movie.
Have you watched any of this, Josh?
Not yet. No, but I was gonna try a few of them.
Still getting through all your fucking. What's his fucking face? That real depressing guy.
Lars von Trier.
Oh yeah.
That guy.
It's not the only thing I'm watching, asshole.
That is all you've watched.
It is not the only thing.
You watched that and Care Bears. I don't really understand.
Yeah.
It's his new favorite director.
Care Bears is to like cleanse your palate from Lars von Trier movies. you might need Care Bears after that. Fucking the one was all like, "Come here, Josh."
Yeah, might need a hug for sure.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I didn't hate it. I think I gave it a 2.5. So
out of 5.
Yeah.
So there was
there was stuff I liked. There was stuff I didn't like. I mean, I can get past the bad acting and the cheesiness.
The story wasn't that you said that because like I started liking it a lot to the point that like I kind of want to own it, and I'm like, fuck, man. I really thought you were gonna like it.
Yeah, I didn't dislike it, so I gave it like right down middle of the road. Like I didn't hate it, didn't. I
kind of feel like if you didn't care for it much, then I'm almost positive Josh won't. You might want to start with a different one, Josh, and then watch that one later.
Yeah,
it's pretty over the top with the cheese and bad dialogue.
Well, the English girl that's in the movie is worth watching, man. She is fucking beautiful, man.
Yeah, I just found out about her recently. I guess she did a lot of like,
she's
not necessarily like Japanese, but I mean she's kind of went around in the 70s.
She's in this one called the Kyoto Collection. This is also something that Hugh let me borrow.
Okay.
And it looked like a bootleg porn. That's why I wanted to borrow
it. Totally does.
And I was like, man. And then when he told me that she was in that other movie, I didn't know what he meant until I watched it and then saw the cover again. And I was like, oh, he means that girl. And I tried watching this one, but the quality of it is so bad. like the picture quality, like the movie quality, I couldn't even tell you. I don't know because it was so. This is maybe the worst DVD that I've ever watched as far as like
a pan scan from a
watching it on a nice TV. I was like, what? So I fast forwarded through a chapter and I was like, oh, it's just the DVD. I need to watch it on a smaller screen. Which whatever, I got smaller screens, I can do that.
They probably just converted it from a VHS.
I would imagine so. But I really like her a lot. The acting once I got. I don't know what was with me when I first watched it, because if you watch this movie, I would imagine that even you probably thought, yeah, Randy probably likes this.
Yes.
Because it's right up my alley. I don't know what I was thinking, man. You know what it is that I was expecting extreme when I wasn't going to get extreme. And it was only because me and Hugh were talking about it, and we were all hyped about another movie we just watched. So we were all excited about shit. And he's like, yeah, you should watch this and blah, 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 blah. You know how that goes. And so I just was like, hell yeah. So I borrowed it. And I had this like warped idea of what I was going to get into. And so when I watched it, first half of it, I was like, what? Like, this isn't. And so like watching it through a different lens, like thinking about the fact that Quentin Tarantino really liked it and he used it as inspiration, that really matters to me. And yeah, Christina Lindbergh.
Yeah.
Man, didn't she go by Christina in the movie?
Yeah.
She looked like a almost like Emily Blunt to me, kind of.
Yeah, she's in another big 70s exploitation you might have heard of. It's Thriller. I can't remember like the girl with one eye or something like that. It's just a 70s revenge, sexploitation.
The girl with the brown eye.
Yeah, I think the girl with.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Like, it's got a.
Oh, Josh, fucking.
No, I try.
Oh shit!
But no, that one's got a famous scene in it where they literally like stab somebody's eye.
Oh god!
And they actually used like a dead body.
Oh, I've heard about that.
And stabbed it. Yeah, that chick is in that movie. Yeah.
What's that called?
Thriller.
You were just making fun of it.
Yeah,
Vinegar Syndrome just put out a copy of it.
My brain is like, that's what my brain's doing right now.
Yeah.
My brain's having a keg party. I'm not invited.
Yeah, Vinegar Syndrome just put out a copy of it, and you can't find it. It's expensive. It already sold out.
It's one of those?
Really? Damn.
Yep.
How much is it?
I mean, it was like $35, but there's a big box set version that's going for like $100 something bucks. There's a regular 4K. It's a 4K too. So there's a 4K that was like $35-$40, but I think it's going for like $50.
That's not too inflated though.
No, it's not too bad, but it's a little more than what I want to spend on it.
Is it got a picture of a guy with a eye patch with a gun?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure I'm looking at the right thing.
Yeah, I've seen that cover too. Okay. Yeah, no,
I'm looking for it right now.
They've been advertising that a lot, actually.
Yeah, it just came out like this week or something, but it's her with a gun.
Oh, is it her? I'm sorry. I just vaguely remembered it, and then I saw it, and so I asked to make sure it was the right thing.
Oh, so he's seen the movie. It looks like.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it looks good.
Like I said, cruel picture.
Yeah,
a cruel picture. That's part of the title, I think.
Yes, but it was known in America. I'm trying to find the title of it.
I could have read that 400 times and not realize that he was calling it the whole movie title.
They call her One Eye.
Oh my god, dude! Why can't I be the guy that names these movies? I would come up with some better names.
I think that was what it was known as in America, and it was like it got super edited because there actually is like hardcore sex in it, and they edited all that stuff out for America.
That's dumb.
Yeah. So the Vinegar Syndrome, of course, has all that stuff added into it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's why it sold out so fast.
That's about what I was going to say. So, one day I'll check it out.
Cool.
Yeah. I put it on my watch list. I'm going to see if I can find a copy for $40 or something. That's the kind of thing that if I get it and I don't like it for some reason, I can put it at the store and people will be interested in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear a lot of good stuff about it.
Dude, I got Michael Jackson stuck in my fucking head now.
You did it to yourself.
I know, dude. Like, I legitimately, that was 100% on me. Like,
oh, man.
Anyways. We're going to, hey, for anybody that's interested, we're going to have a double dose next week because we're also going to do horror hangout menage a trois, and we're going to watch Mad God and talk about that next week. I'm also going to do a short movie review of Mad God because I'm going to watch it 2 or 3 different times. I'm going to do like a gore score review like on its own. This movie, I was going to do a gore score review for. It just didn't really fit the criteria enough, and it was just going to be a boring conversation, so I didn't do it. Talking about Sunbright, but
is there any chance that you're setting yourself up for like being really disappointed about this movie?
What, Mad God?
Yeah,
I have no idea. I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I saw Jamie reviewed it on Letterboxd and gave it a 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I have not. I just want to watch it. I have no idea if it's gonna be good or bad. I have no clue. No.
You just said you were gonna watch it multiple times.
Review it.
Yeah.
Just simply to review it. That's so I can review it correctly.
I was listening to something and they said it's like really not horror. It's more sci-fi.
Whatever.
So,
I mean, what little I know about it, it looks very horror to me. I'll wait to cast judgment when I watch it. But
yeah,
I mean, there is a 50-50 chance that this one could suck ass. There's no telling, man.
I mean, I don't think so. Just conceptually, like even if you just turn off the sound and just watch it, it looks cool. So
that's kind of how I feel about it. And I'm just gonna go in there with like, based on some of the movies I've had in recent past where I've been excited to watch them, I'm a little more tempered with my expectations. I'm not losing my shit about it or anything, but I do expect it to be reasonably good. But Jamie, maybe he's got some stuff about it he didn't care for. Not everybody likes the same shit, even though we have a lot in common. Even especially me and Jamie, we have a lot of things that we like similarly.
No, he gave it a 5 out of 5.
Oh, 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Dude, I always think 5 whenever y'all give me numbers. Oh wow, 5.
Yeah, I've kind of migrated to like Letterboxd scores, I guess.
Well, I don't use Letterboxd, so you can say 5, and I'll have to ask you every time. Out of what?
Yeah.
Out of 5? Okay.
Out of 7.
Out of 7. That's a pretty good score. 5 out of 7. What's that, like 83%?
Something like that. That's too much math.
Let's see. Sorry, 1 second. I'm doing something very important.
But yeah, so I've been watching Japanese stuff this week. That's
cool though. I watched. I've been watching Boardwalk Empire because I've been sick, and I've already seen it, so I've been able to sleep through it, and I've been watching and listening to most of it. Well, I don't want to watch something I haven't seen because then I'll stay up, and I've been really not feeling well. Like I don't know if you can still hear my voice. I hear
better.
It. Is it better?
Yeah,
Man, it's been gnarly all week, dude. I've been really uncomfortable. But I watched a lot of Boardwalk Empire. I really enjoy that show. I like
it's a great show.
The Irish woman in it. I always had like a thing for her. She's real pretty. I like the dude with the little mask on his face, the war veteran guy, sharpshooter.
Yeah, he's awesome.
That dude's boss, bro. Whenever Michael Pitt gets it, I was like, no.
Spoilers.
I don't give a fuck. That show is insane.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I mean, if I haven't watched it by now, I'm probably not going to.
I mean, stuff like that, dude. Anybody got a problem with spoilers, bro? Whew. That's ridiculous.
You could say how the show ends, and you couldn't spoil it. It's still there's so many things
in this show. Like I'll tell you what, I could tell you exactly what happens in that part, and you still forget about it by the time it happens because it's definitely an intricate show.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly would have just assumed you had watched it. To be honest with you, Chris.
I mean, I would totally forget anything you said about it.
That's why I never worry about spoilers because my memory's so bad that I'm just like, whatever, man. Tell me what you're going to tell me. It'll help me decide whether or not I want to watch something.
Especially with TV shows, man. Like, you're like, who knows at what point in the show is? Like, you'll seen 10 other things by then, and
yeah. I was on that show from the beginning because that's a Martin Scorsese thing. So,
I don't know that I knew that until this watch, and it's like Martin, and I was like. Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, he directed the first episode.
Okay. And I was like, what? It was interesting to me. Oh, so
Mark Wahlberg also produced all of it too.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
Pairing?
Not really, man. I feel like those guys go together pretty well. I don't think Mark Wahlberg's on the level of Scorsese as far as acting compared to directing necessarily, but I also think he's way better than people give him credit for. He's done a lot of corny shit, which is why he gets all the shit he gets. He also does some really great movies. I think he's got a particular type of character. And if he gets that role, he's good. He's solid.
He's a few good ones, but I mean,
I really enjoy Mark Wahlberg. Like he's a guy that like when he comes out with stuff, I actively want to go watch it because there's a chance that it's going to be so fucking bad it's good. But it could also just be awesome. Like the other guys, who could have predicted that? Like who could have predicted the other guys? That movie was amazing, and it was because of him. Like, and Ted, I thought Ted was great too.
First one was.
Oh yeah, dude. There's not a second Ted, right? Yeah. That doesn't exist. That movie was fucking trash.
Yeah.
But
I don't think I finished it.
Wow, that's pretty bad.
I'm sure Josh would probably say that about the first one too.
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah, I didn't like Ted.
I'm fucking shocked, dude.
I like the other guys, but I did not.
Other guys is awesome, dude. When The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson aim for the bushes. All right. 15 stories up, guys. All right, whatever, dummy.
It's been so long, I don't even remember it anymore. But...
Oh, dude. There goes my hero. And he jumps off the building, and there's nothing under them. I don't know. It's so stupid. All right.
I mean, I still think Marky Mark hasn't been better since Boogie Nights, personally. But
you just want to see his penis. Or
I mean, that's not his penis. It's a giant rubber penis.
Yeah. Well, you know what I meant.
He wishes.
I mean,
Josh, yeah, sure does, doesn't he?
Sure. You know.
Talk about Pride Month over here.
Or Mark Wahlberg wishes.
Dude,
yeah,
you know what? I've actually talked to my wife about that, and she's like, hell no. And I'm like, no. She's like, that would hurt so bad. She's like, there's nothing good about that. And I'm like, all right. Good for me. Like, oh, jeez Louise. Cool, man. What else did we watch this week? Josh, you watch anything interesting?
I watched
a lot. Oof.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a couple of things. I watched this. I watched a giallo called The Fifth Chord, which has Franco Nero in it. Django.
Oh, nice.
Okay. He's in it, and it was really, really good. He's like a alcoholic reporter, and people start dying around him, and he's like the prime suspect. So that's he's like having to, basically
and he's not guilty, right? Like that's the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's this. I mean, you don't entirely know. There's like a suspicion there. Like, okay, I mean, especially with giallos, because they like to do their little twists and turns and stuff. So it's like maybe he was the killer the whole time. So there is a question of it, but no, I mean, he's not. And basically, he's
spoiler alert.
Sorry, it's but he's a detective.
What I asked.
he's basically doing the detective work, trying to figure out who it is, and it was a really solid movie.
What's it called again?
The Fifth Chord.
Fifth Chord.
It's also
the ripcord.
It's also probably the best, like some of the best shot, like best cinematography.
Okay. Nice.
I mean, even against like some of the Argento stuff, which is really pretty. But the way that they frame everything, it's absolutely incredible. I was like kind of blown away by how it looked.
On that stuff too a little bit on cinematography and things. And
yeah,
when I go back and watch some movies I really enjoy, it's really frustrating to watch something that isn't shot particularly well, and now I notice it. It's fucking annoying. It's real dumb.
Yeah. The other thing I watched was I watched Out of Sight. The George Clooney,
Jennifer
Lopez movie. Yeah.
Is that the one where he has that sweet mullet?
Yeah, he has a mullet.
No, there's one that's got like a sweet mullet, dude. It's like legit, dude. Like short on top, long and curly in the back. Looks like some old Jean-Claude Van Damme type shit.
Steve Zahn is in the movie. He's got a mullet.
Like him. Oh, he's awesome.
Dude, if you've never seen the movie, you should watch it. It's awesome.
I feel like I've seen that, but I might not have, dude. There's an era where a lot of those movies came out, and I watched as many as I could, but I missed a few, and that might be one of them.
It's directed by Steven Soderbergh, like Ocean's 11, stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
So it definitely has the Ocean's 11 vibe, but also I had very strong Tarantino vibe.
No shit.
There's a lot of like.
I might have to watch that soon then. Let me write that down.
It's awesome. It's really, really good. You'll like it. Also, it has ties to Jackie Brown because yes, because it's also based off of an Elmore Leonard novel. Which
Elmore Leonard is my guy, dude.
So it's based off, and there's I won't say who, but there's a cameo appearance of a character in Jackie Brown, who's in Jackie Brown. And I was like, whoa, what the hell?
You have a guess?
There's actually a couple, and then one of them is not actually the same character, but one of them is the same character. So I won't say who, but y'all should both watch it. It's really very, very good.
I wrote it down. I'm gonna check it out.
It's got a lot of like that non-linear stuff. It's like flipping back and forth in time. George Clooney is like a bank robber. He keeps going in and out of prison, and it flips through him going like in prison at one point, and like the people he's meeting, and then out of prison, and he's trying to rob this other guy, and like it's just like a really fun, silly movie. It's just a lot of fun. J-Lo is actually really good in it too.
I think she's one of those actors that's like really, really, really hit or miss. Like she's either going to be terrible because like The Cell is awesome.
Yeah,
dude. But then like you go watch half of her other movies, they're all real bad, dude. They're real bad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I need to look because I'm not sure. This might have been like her first movie or one of her first. I'm pretty sure it's pretty early for her. But she was great. She was really great in it. But yeah, definitely worth watching. I just finished it today actually, and I was like, that's my favorite Soderbergh movie.
No shit. That's like, a bold statement.
By far.
It was like your first time watching it in a while or something?
This is my first time seeing it. I've never seen it before.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I'd never seen it. I always heard it was really good. But yeah, just never. It's one of those ones like you hear about it, but it's like, it just
I never
got around to it.
Yeah, I never thought much of it. I guess. I mean,
well, also, Kino is about to put out the 4K of it.
Oh, nice.
I was looking, I was like, I wasn't like super interested in it, but I was like, that's one that everyone says is really good. So let me go ahead and check it out. And I watched it and then I pre-ordered it, the 4K. So,
you already pre-ordered it, huh?
Yeah, it comes out in like a couple weeks. So, but yeah, definitely worth watching.
For anybody that is interested in like list type videos, I have just put up the top 5 horror movies on Hulu for this year. And I'm also going to do my movie collection horror DVDs M through Z tonight. That'll drop tomorrow. So I got some good content coming for anybody that's still hanging out with us that's interested in that kind of stuff. Cool. Yeah, I've been busting my ass, dude. With 3 channels, it's definitely a different dynamic trying to get things scheduled, because especially with the art channel, like I've only got 4 videos up, but I'm trying to get more. And like I created maybe the best painting I've ever done, and I didn't fucking film it because I just did it on a whim, and I was like waiting for other shit to happen. My other camera was in use, so I was like, I'll paint for a minute while I'm waiting on this. All I was really doing was trying out a technique, and it turned into a whole painting, and it crushed me that I didn't have it filmed. So I will not be painting anything on canvas until I have my camera set up at this point, because I would love to be able to show that one, because I think it's really nice. But
yeah, no, that looked really good.
I wish it was bigger. It's a small painting, which is what I was just testing something out. So I just grabbed a little, I think 18 by 12 canvas, little small one, like a little office wall type of hanger. But it's all right, man. I'll get more cool shit out there, man. I got a lot of stuff I'm working on, man. And pretty soon, all of this stuff will be working in tandem, and I'll be doing some good things, man. I have when I get the studio space, pardon me. When I get the studio space, I think I'm gonna add something to my shop that is a little bit probably unexpected. I thrift a lot, and I find cool shit a lot, and I find cool clothing a lot. So I'm gonna start buying up the clothes that I find that are cool and clean and well taken care of, and I'll have a little spot with some cool clothes and stuff at my store, so you can come in and pick out movies and music, and it'll have some clothes, whatever I find in the wild, man. Band tees, comic stuff, pop culture shit. Like I found this button down today. It's from the 70s. I don't have it in here with me, but y'all would be shocked if you saw me hold it up, because you would never think I would wear something like this, but I used to rock this kind of shit all the time. It's why I know what kind of clothing I'm looking for. But it's like a $80 shirt. I found it for $5. I couldn't believe it. So wow. I could throw $25 on there and be pretty happy with that. And somebody else might be stoked to get it for a real good price. So I'm going to dry clean it and, iron it and hang it up. But anyways, I don't know why I was saying all that. I'm just excited about the studio. I'm still working on that. Hopefully in August, man. It's just every time I talk to these people, it's something else, man. Well, it's always something that's happening. It ain't necessarily their fault. It's just there's something that comes up all the time. And we had one that was ready for me to go into, and I went, and I guess the universe knows when you're ready for this, because I was like kind of thinking about it, but like half the place was unair conditioned because it was just storage space, but it was a way bigger spot for like the same money. So like the air conditioned spot was still pretty big. And I was like, okay, I could use this for storage. And I mean, I could clean up my whole house, get all my art shit over here. And I was like, that could actually work out. And then I just decided not to do it. I was like, no, I want to go with what I wanted, which was, 2 to 3 rooms, this certain square footage, all air conditioned, all indoors. And so I decided to do that. And then right after that, some financial nonsense happened, and I had to like suck it up a little bit and take care of some shit that was unexpected. And so I guess it's good that I didn't take that day, because I would have put all my money into that, and we would be in a tough spot right now, which we're not because I didn't. So, but the next available spot is possible August, so it'll happen when it's supposed to, I guess.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm just excited about it because I see a lot of potential and opportunity. A little boutique shop in there where you can get horror movies, records, and cool clothes. And then in the back, it's like all podcast shit. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah. I've already got some chairs that I'm going to buy. I found them they're at IKEA, so they're not like super expensive or anything, but they're nice and they look cool, and they'll look neat in like a podcast setup. I'm going to get a little table. Man, I'm fucking excited, dude. I am excited.
Awesome.
Anything else you guys wanted to talk about before we go?
I don't think so.
I'm good.
Cool. Well, thank you, everybody, who's hanging out with us this long. That's awesome. We're officially like 850 hours to monetization. I know it sounds like a lot. It is a lot still, but man, a few months back we were 3,600 away. So we're making headway. Anybody that supports this channel by watching a video of ours, man, I sincerely appreciate it. It helps the channel a lot, because once I can get this channel monetized, it'll even out a whole bunch of things. People tell me like, why do you care about money? I'm like, motherfucker, I'm 40 with 3 kids. This is my job. I don't actually care about money. I just care about taking care of my family, and it'll just make things easier. Like, I can't wait, dude. The amount of stuff I'm gonna be able to do when I don't have to worry about that anymore. Ooh, buddy, I can't wait. I got a couple of taste test videos coming, and then I got new Suicide Boys song that just dropped, and some movie stuff dropping. So, stay tuned, folks. We got lots of content. Dude, good talking to you, Hugh. I'm glad you came and hang out. That was awesome, man.
Yeah.
Chris, Josh, good talking to you fellas. I guess I'll see. Are y'all coming out tomorrow night?
Yep.
Yeah.
Anybody that's in Houston, man, every Friday night at Alamo Draft House, Cinco Ranch, there's a graveyard shift where we watch a horror movie at 10 p.m. Central Time. Oh, I guess 10 p.m. our time if you're not out here. Come on and hang out, man. They're never actually sold out. So there's always a seat or two available. So, if you're interested and you're in your local, you can come and hang out with us. And if I can meet you, I would love to have guests on that I don't know. It'd be cool to have people on the show that we just meet. I'm all about that. That's another reason why I want the studio, is I'm going to have in-person podcasting. So, we won't do it every week or anything, but it'd be real nice to have guests in the building. So awesome. Well, y'all all have a good night, fellas. I'll talk to y'all in just a second. Everybody else, take it easy. Have a good weekend. Be safe out there. Don't drink and drive. Take a fucking Uber, all that shit. I'm so sick of hearing people getting hurt. It's sad, man. So be careful out there, folks. Peace.